Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Darkest Dungeon. Yep. 2 days in a row, what can I say? The king has returned. It's funny, I actually had a comment yesterday's video that was like, good to see that your confidence hadn't disappeared over the break. Funny story about that, I actually was like, I spent like a solid, and this is gonna sound crazy, but like I spent like a solid 2 days trying to figure out like what I wanted to be the title of the episode. And I came down to 3 options. Option 1 was Return of the King, which, you know, obviously that's what I went with. Option 2 was gonna be Back in Black. You know, if you know, you know, right? Even though it's not like an obscure reference or anything, but yeah. Anyways, that was option 2. And then option 3 was just gonna be like something lame, like I don't know. I think what I was originally thinking of was like where I've been vlog. And it's just gonna be like the first 10 minutes of that video, except like in a vlog style kind of thing. And I was like, who gives a shit about that, right? They came here for the gameplay, so we're gonna do it with the gameplay. That makes like infinitely more sense than any other option. So that's ultimately what I went with. And yeah, there's a little bit of backstory on that. What's the plan for today? That's a very good question, and I don't quite know. I said I wanted to get back into like gameplay kind of stuff, you know, like the you know, not wiping with single turn Hepveer, whatever it's called. I think that's still the plan. I'm a little bit worried though, because it's been, like I said, it's been a very long time since I've actually played. And I'm kind of like worried that I'm just gonna lose good heroes for no reason. You're still muted. I was wondering why the audio was taking so long to kick in. Yeah, that's right. I took away your speaking privileges last episode. Alright, what are we doing? I think we unlocked a boss somewhere. Did we? Maybe not, actually. It made the sound like we unlocked a boss. Whoa. Oh, never mind. It's not that cool. Okay. Oh, shit. No, go away. That's the counterpart to the other one that we have. Yeah, Endless Struggle. Nice. Nice. Okay. So, the first one gives us bleed chances on hits, and we lose stress. The other one makes us lose riposte damage, but we gain a chance every time we take damage to activate it. It's a 50-50 shot. And a chance to bleed. That's kind of lame, though. Unless I'm reading that wrong. Maybe it means an on-hit, like, every time we hit something. The way that it reads, though, on-hit self. Maybe it's just like an on-hit we activated ourselves. I don't know. It reads weird, so it's either on a hit on ourself we activate it, or on a hit of something else we have a 50-50 chance of activating. But if it only lasts for like 1 round and does less damage, that's kind of lame. But I guess the trade-off for that is we do more damage against bled targets, and it does bleed. But honestly, that just feels infinitely better, because it also gives us damage against marked. And we can mark everyone. Yeah, that's cool to have. I think we'll do it just to get that. But it's definitely not, like, the best thing that we could have ever hoped for. That's for sure. Yeah, nothing else is really striking my fancy. I guess we'll go there. We are going to take an overpowered team, though, because like I said, I just need to get back in the swing of things. Okay. Let's not be so moody and just do what I say, please. That would be great. We need to get the Jester leveled up. You can come along. Jester. There you are. What version are we on? I'm gonna do 6.0. I feel like maybe possibly it's 6.0. That's what we're gonna roll with. And we need a backline. It's going to be a Vestal, as always, because, you know, why wouldn't I? I honestly don't think we need to take any of these things, but we're probably going to anyways, just because. I'm just gonna equip trinkets on you. This is a baby dungeon. Okay, let me click it though. No. You know what I'm trying to do, let me do it. There we go. It's hard to, like, you know, the hardest thing I have found since coming back to recording and stuff, keeping conversation while I'm playing games. That's funny to say because, like I said, I haven't played any video games, like, at all, really, since, you know, leaving for the trip. Like, I've played, like, mobile games, like, but those don't count, you know? Okay, I would like to preface this with, I'm sorry to those of you in the community who are mobile gamers, okay? It's no offense against you, but you gotta admit, it's not the same as doing, like, you know, keyboard and mouse or controller gaming. It's just, it doesn't even, like, it truly, like, doesn't even compare. It's so weird without any dialogue. Anywho. So it's just, like, it's weird because, like, I feel like I have to focus extra hard on what I'm doing. And then at the same time, it's like, well, I'm supposed to be focusing on talking. And then it's like, well, I'm not talking enough, so I need to fill the, you know, I need to fill this time. Okay, thanks, bitch. You've got a bad one, I think. I don't think it's the good one. I don't think it matters, though. I think everything is still gonna die. Yeah, this is a level 1 dungeon. I'm not really worried. I was being quiet there for a second because there's a plane flying overhead, and I was worried that my, oh, you don't have any moves. Oh well. As long as you can do this, that's all I care about. I was worried the plane was gonna be picking up, like, over top of my audio. I have found out, though, that it clearly is not the case, because, yeah, it didn't pick it up at all. Maybe it does when I'm talking, though, because I can't actually see that if it does. I don't know what you just did. Oh, thanks. Oh. Oh. Okay, well. Anywho. Talking during videos is a little bit hard now. I used to just be able to, like, talk about anything, like, and just kind of, not like vent, but just, like, fill the time, you know? And now it's just like, what the hell do I talk about? Well, I have stories to talk about that I told you all yesterday. So I guess that's something, but, like, I just need to remember to do it. Okay. Okay. Alright, well, story time, I suppose. There's a couple to talk about. Why is it doing that? What the fuck are you doing? It's not de-stressing her. Wait a minute. Oh, how silly of me. How silly of me. Yeah, of course. Right. Yeah, you cannot be de-stressed by that. I am... Yep. Anywho. Story time. So, I've got 2 big stories to talk about in this episode. One of them is, like, cool in a scary way, and then the other one is cool in, like, you know, it's just interesting and neat kind of a thing that happened, right? So I gave, like, a little preface yesterday. Also, by the by, I will be including pictures of the lightsaber. I didn't do it in the actual video because, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I kind of forgot that I had to, like, edit things when I was, like, rendering the video. I did very minimal, touch-ups. I just added the end screen in the beginning. And I kind of forgot to, like, go through the video and make sure there was nothing else that I needed to, like, do. So I didn't. So then, yeah, that just didn't happen. But I do have the pictures. I just need to make sure that I put them in the comment section of this, like, video when it goes up. That's not the one I meant to hit, but, I guess it works. Okay. Because, yeah, it's like I have the pictures, right? They're just not, like, available to you all to look at. I need to take these home, and I don't think I'm gonna need, like, any campfires, so Actually, that's a lie. I'll probably use a single campfire, because that'll allow us to get rid of a lot of stress, probably. Keyword is probably. So I do have the pictures in that. I just need to remember to do it tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then either yell at me, or maybe possibly I remember to do it in the one following that. Basically what I'm trying to say is it'll happen eventually. And that is the only guarantee that I can give. Tomorrow, I'm shooting for tomorrow, though. I know this combat isn't, like, much better, but like I said, I'm still trying to get back in the swing of things. Okay. That was very cool of you, thanks. Okay, so 2 stories. I think that the more interesting of the ones to talk about is probably the lightning story. The other one's like I said, it's like a cool thing that happened, but it's not really like, it's cool, but it's not like, I don't know. I'll explain it when I explain it. First, we're talking about the lightning. So, I'm at Disney. What just happened? You used something. Which one was it? I think it was Smiling Bodies. 2 stress around for 3 rounds. How many core do they have? Yeah. Jesus Christ, for 5 rounds though. Why? Ugh, that's rough. But it said, yeah, it only said 3. Oh well. Anywho. So I'm at Disney, right? And the last like 2 days of our trip, it was just like there was just torrential downpour. It was really, really bad. Like I've been through, you know, through a thunderstorm in my life, and this was probably like the worst thunderstorm I've ever experienced ever. And that's saying a lot, right? So it starts to just absolutely come down. And, you know, people are like running for shelter and trying to get out of the rain. You know, rides are closing down and stuff, so it's like, well, we, you know, okay. You got a riposte, that's fine. The rides are starting to close down and stuff, so it's like, okay, well, it's gonna do this for the rest of the day. Like, I checked the forecast, and it was like, yeah, it's just gonna rain all day long. So there's not really a point in staying at the park. So we make the decision to just leave and go back to the buses to get back to our hotel room, right? Because like we're staying like at, they call it like a resort, but I'm not gonna lie to you, it was not very it was not very like, not that it wasn't nice, but it just wasn't like, when you hear the word resort, right, a couple of things probably come to mind. You're thinking like lavish, you know, kind of like nice. I wouldn't really say that this was either of those 2 things. It was kind of just like where we were staying. It just happened to be called a resort. Anywho, that's besides the point. So we get like out of the rain temporarily as we start to make our way back towards the buses. Because to get to and from the resort, the hotel room, to the park, you have to take like a Disney bus. Right? Because they not only own like the rights to, you know, every single thing you could possibly imagine, but they also own like all the busing to and from their place. It's yeah, it's something alright. But anywho, that's besides the point. I need to get you back in your spot. You've moved too far up. So we're like in the middle of the park. And we're like, all right, well, you know what? All the rides are closing. I don't think they're gonna open up anytime soon, if at all. And we wanted to beat the line to the bus, because otherwise we're just gonna be waiting in like, you know, 50. Well, 50 is probably the lower end of things. It'd probably be closer to like 100-person line, because those lines are ridiculous, because there are, you know, who would have thought, right? So many people trying to do the exact same thing as us. So it's like, all right, you know what? fuck it, we're just gonna leave. We're gonna try and beat the lines so that we don't have to like deal with that come 40 minutes from now when we make the exact same decision after realizing nothing's opening back up. So we start heading back. Yeah, we're bobbing and weaving through the rain and whatnot, and it's like it's raining so hard. The like the coverings that we are occasionally making it to are blocking out like nothing. How did you not die? You took what? I'm not gonna ask you. You know what? I'm not gonna ask you a question. You're gonna die in a second anyways. Goodbye. Yeah, so we're like the temporary coverings that we're like finding to escape the rain are, you know, packed with people, so everybody's trying to do the exact same thing we are. And so it's just like, you know, we're just running, we're running. And like I said, we're like halfway in the middle of the park. And we have to go all the way back to the entrance and then all the way back to the buses. So we finally make it to the buses, right? Everybody is drenched. There were 5 of us, by the way, including myself. So when I say everybody, I mean like the group of people who went. Every one of us, all 5 of us, are just soaked. But whatever, right? We made it to the bus stop. There's like 8 people in line, so we made it pretty well, all things considered. Okay. Eat the coin and get ready to kick some ass. Yeah, we did pretty well, all things considered. We beat out most of the other people. And, you know, it's nice, because now we only have to wait for, like, I would like to see, sidetrack, how much damage this is about to do. Probably a lot. Yeah, that was a lot. Alright, anywho. Oh, that's it. Well, take me home. So, yeah, it's like, there's like, maybe like 10 to 15 people in line ahead of us who kind of had the exact same idea and wanted to beat everyone else. And it's like, whatever, right? It's not that bad. We'll probably make it on the first bus, but, you know, with COVID procedures and whatnot, it might be the bus after. So, honestly, it's not the end of the world, is basically what I'm trying to say. We were in such a position that it was like, well, even if we make it now or later, we'll still make it. Do I have a ruler? I feel like I needed another one. No, I have one. No, I don't. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Never mind. That was a lie. Yes, so it's like, yeah, well, even if we make it now or later, it's fine, whatever. We'll make it home eventually, and that's all that matters, really. So I took a video on my phone of, like, the rain that was coming down, right? Because it was like, you know, it was just crazy. It was like raining crazy hard, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, it's horrible. I want a video of this so I can, like, show people and be like, look what I'm standing in right now. So, you know, I might show the video. What time is it in this video? 18 minutes? I might show the video. It's not anything special. It's like 10 seconds long. I'll put a reminder in my phone. Let's see. 1850 should be good. So, I take this video, right? I am not lying to you when I say, like, 10 seconds later, like, literally, like, maybe not 10 seconds, it's probably, like, 15 seconds later, right? I feel like the strangest feeling in my entire life, which is the feeling of lightning striking close to where you are. If you have never felt that, which I imagine most of you probably haven't, it's crazy, it's weird. Right? Let me pick a thing first, so I don't just keep clicking on these to talk. None of these really looked interesting, though. Maybe you. It's hard, though. We just want to level you up. I feel like we could probably carry you through something easy, though. This seems easy enough. I'm fine with this. Oh, yeah. And then we'll do trinkets, because we're gonna need trinkets this time. So... I mean, it's hard to, like, verbalize, so, imagine, like, you rub, like, a balloon against yourself, right? You know, like your hair stands up, and it's like attracted to it, and like you rub it on your head, and your hair stands up. And it's just, you know, it's an interesting feeling, right? So imagine that, but like times 15, and then across the entirety of your body, all at once. Okay. It was weird. It was really weird. I don't think we have any of your stuff anymore. No. No, we don't. Well, guess we're figuring something else out for you. It just needs to be healing. It doesn't even need to be, like, that good. It just needs to be something that can heal better. Or not. Maybe stun chance is better, if we have any of that. That's pretty good. Yeah, what the hell, we'll take that. You don't need to be fast. You're just here for moral support, basically. You take the candle, and I mean, that's pretty good, but I mean, what the hell else are you taking, right? Okay. Yeah, let's make sure I bring things, because that's kind of important, right? Okay. So, yeah, it's just like, imagine that, but like across your entire body. It was crazy. So in the video, right, like there's like a little bit of like so we're under an awning, right? Like at the buses. It's all covered by like a big metallic covering. Like it's like yeah, it's like an awning. And the one, I'll probably just put the video back up like here-ish. Let me put another note in my phone. Because it's easier to like, obviously like I'm explaining it now. But it's easier to just like do like post recording when I can just, you know, edit everything together. So like 2220 would be good. Yeah, so like in the video, like the one in the back that like you briefly see at the end, that is what got struck by lightning, like directly head on into the middle of the top of it. And it was, I don't know if anybody has ever heard this. I have heard it like occasionally, like maybe like 3 or 4 times. I feel like I read it in like a survival handbook somewhere. Because, yeah, I used to read, like, survival handbooks just, like, for fun. Because that's just the kind of person that I am / was. But that's besides the point, once again. I don't think you're going to be able to one-shot me. I don't know what you just did, but thanks. Okay. What is happening? How did you... How? I have no idea what just happened. You just, like, murdered, like, 3 people. By 3 people, I mean 1 person. So you... Okay, you definitely use this, then. And then, yeah, okay. I'm unhappy that you took the entirety of my turn, but what can you do, right? Yes. Okay. So, yeah, that like section in the back, it got struck head on by lightning. I don't know if there's like a lightning rod in the top of those things so that they don't like strike elsewhere, or if it was just the unlucky part of land that ended up getting hit. But it got hit all right, and it was. It's like I'm trying to find words to describe it, right? It truly, like, it's gonna sound crazy, but like, I mean, crazy. It's gonna sound like stupid, but it's like it's truly like indescribable. It hit, right? Okay, yeah, we were talking about like, yeah. So if you've ever heard the like, oh well, if you feel your hand, or not your hand, your hair, like on your body, start to like stand up while it's raining and thundering outside, then you need to like drop to the ground and cover your neck and pray to God that you don't get struck by lightning. If you've ever heard that, that is like probably one of the biggest lies I've literally ever heard in my entire life, and here's the exact reason for this. I felt the sensation of approaching lightning, right? The hair standing up and whatnot. I felt that happen, and literally, like, half of a second, 3/4 of a second later, the lightning hit. So to expect someone to be able to, in that amount of time, not only understand what is happening, but also react fast enough to drop to the ground and cover your neck is absolutely ridiculous. Like, even though I've been through it like once, I don't think if it were to happen to me a second time, I would be able to react the appropriate way. And that's just because, like, there really just isn't enough time to, you know? It's so fast and sudden that it just, like, I mean, you really just can't prepare. But I digress. So, the lightning hits, and it, like, I mean, it hit hard. Like, it hit really hard. That's annoying. That's annoying. Okay, it's not that bad. Like, it was so bad that, like, well, I know personally, like, my ears, it literally felt like somebody just took a frying pan against the side of my head and just banged on it as hard as they possibly could, right? Just, like, directly into my eardrum. It was not good. It was so loud and just jarring. Like, my ears were ringing for like a solid three hours consistently after that, and then progressed continuously for like the next 2 days. Like, that's how loud and close it was. I mean, you hear like thunder in the sky from like a couple miles away, and you're like, damn, that's loud, right? But now imagine that, but just like right on top of you. It's awful. It's awful. It is so loud. So unbelievably loud. I mean, yeah, the easiest way to describe it is like someone's just banging a frying pan like inside of your ear. Right? Like hit after hit after hit for like 10 seconds, and then it dissipated. So, you know, my ears are ringing. The guy who was ahead of us, because like we were in like a queue, right? So it's like we were in like the middle-ish row, and then like it roped around, and there were people like up in front of us, like at the bus stop. The guy in front of us, who, like, we were right here, and this guy was like right here, so he was a little bit closer than we were, but he had his body facing like forward, so like the left side of his body was facing towards it. His eardrum burst, and just like it like evaporated, and he like collapsed on the ground and had like blood coming from his ear. Like, it was bad, right? Like, it was loud and it was bad. Thankfully, we, like, almost all of us had our backs turned to it, except for me. I was kind of facing like at an angle, right? So I could see it at the corner of my eye, but like I wasn't directly looking at it, right? But we were looking behind us because we were waiting for another person to show up, right? Because like we weren't all there yet. We were waiting for the last person to like run across. So like we didn't get hit as bad as the people, like some of the people in front of us. Like, the guy who had it the worst was the dude with his eardrum burst, you know? Like, that was the worst that I saw personally. But we'll just do something easy. There's not really anything here that I like want, so we'll just go here. So he had it like the worst, I think. And like the shock, you know, like I don't know why I'm having such trouble with this right now. Okay. I can do this all day. I got it that time. I almost clicked out. Yeah, so I think that guy got it the worst. That was the worst I saw, at least. I didn't see anybody else in like a worse position than that. There might have been, but they were not on my radar at the time. But the shock, like, it was like the air was filled with like static electricity. And like that's what was like I said, like all the hair was standing on edge. Like, literally, it's like the entirety of the air around us was just filled with electricity. It was crazy. So it was just, I mean, it was like, and it was crazy too because like the electricity in the air, like there was a kid holding a balloon and his balloon just like swelled up really bad and then exploded. It was kind of funny to watch, but like looking, like in the moment, it was like, oh my god, it's the end of the fucking world, right? But it was just crazy. It was crazy. There's no other way to describe it. It was crazy. It was insane. It felt unreal, right? And it's just like, oh my god, it was crazy. So, and then it was just like, after that, it was just like ear-piercing, like ringing, and then silence. Like nobody said a word, right? Everybody was just standing there, like dumbfounded by what just happened. And then like a couple of kids started crying because like their ears were hurting, and it's like, yeah, me too, kid. Me too, kid. It hurts, doesn't it? And it was just like a bad situation, but okay, that's not what I meant to do, but heyo, here we are. I checked like this app on my phone because like I like to keep like I like to keep track like on the weather and stuff, just because I like to have a very set plan for what I do, right? Call me OCD, maybe, but I like to have a plan. So I like check this app on my phone, and it also like it shows like the weather, but it also shows like nearby lightning strikes. I am sorry, Collector, but you are gonna have a very bad time of things. You're about to get like absolutely like fucked. Goodbye. Yeah, so ooh, pretty. So it shows like nearby lightning strikes, and like it records them like real time. So it was funny because I went to check it, and I had actually an alert on my phone from the app that was like, it was like, you are in a danger zone. Lightning just struck right next to you. You need to like go get to cover or seek help, right? I was like, well, shit, because I wanted to make sure. I was like, I'm pretty sure that was lightning that just struck right there, but at the same time, like, who knows? Maybe I'm just crazy and I just imagined. Right. Yeah, the kids in front of me are crying, and my ears are ringing, and then my friends are talking about the lightning that just struck, but I'm just imagining it, right? So it was just like, I mean, it was just crazy. It was crazy. And probably the coolest story that I have from going to Disney that's not even Disney related. It's just like it's just a really, like, wicked story. That's the easiest way to describe it. So yeah, that happened. My ears are like sensitive, I guess is the easiest way to describe it. Like, I had to turn the audio on my headphones way down when I first got back, because I used to like listen to things at like a really high volume just because like I hated like outside noises and stuff. But my ears are so sensitive here after that. Like I had to turn them down to like 50% of like the normal. And like even that's still a little bit too loud, but like I have to be able to hear the game. And I hate being able to hear myself like while I'm like recording. And now I'm hearing myself while I'm recording, so it's a temporary sacrifice, but like my ears are just really sore and sensitive from it. It's like, gee, I wonder why, right? It's almost like, you know, you suffered a serious amount of decibel overload in your eardrums. Boy, what could possibly be causing that? But they're like really sensitive. I considered going to the doctor for it, and then I was like, well, my ears aren't ringing anymore, so I guess it's like not the end of the world. Thanks a lot. That's very cool of you. Yeah, I was just like, you know, maybe I should go to the doctor for it. And then I was like, well, they're not ringing anymore, so it's probably fine, right? And then I was like, yeah, it's probably fine. So I'm just, you know, I'm just trying to take it easy and not, you know, do too much to aggravate them. But I truly, and I mean this 150% when I say it, I think I'm gonna have some residual PTSD from like lightning and thunderclaps for like probably a solid like year, just because like, I mean, it was terrifying. You know, and just hearing like the thunderclap, like if I'm, you know, at my desk and outside like I hear like thunder, it like gives me the chills. It's like, Jesus Christ, you know. Lightning be scary. It do be scary. It do be pretty scary. Yeah, that was just kind of like the highlight, story-wise from the trip. And that's just because, like, it's just the most out-of-the-blue, like, interesting story that I took home from that. It's not necessarily, like, a good story in terms of, like, you know, context. Like, I wouldn't say that the story is, like, good because it's not... it didn't leave a positive mark on me. So it's not a good story. It's just a story. It's a good story to tell, but it's not a good story in and of itself. So yeah, that's the coolest story that I have. But I also have a second story that, like, kind of rivals it. I also have another funny thing to say, which is my like face and throat are sore from talking this much, because I am not used to talking this much. It's been such a long time since I did this. It's like it feels weird, like I'm sore, like genuinely sore from talking this much, even though I've not really talked that much. It is what it is. But the next story is kind of less... It's not less cool. At the time, it was the coolest story that I had. But then the lightning happened, and now it's like less cool. This story is from when I went with my girlfriend Carly. We were at dinner while we were there. I think it was called the Boathouse, I think. It was like a seafood place. And I think it was called the Boathouse. So we're there for dinner, and, you know, we're just, you know, looking at the menu, and it's like, oh, we'll have, you know, let's just pick out a bunch of different, like, appetizer-y things that aren't really appetizers to do for appetizers, right? So it's like, we're gonna do a bunch of, how about clams, oysters, and some shrimp, right? So we get them. We're munching on them, right? And I pick up a clam, and I put it into my mouth, and it was raw oysters and steamed clams, okay? And so, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I shouldn't have thrown that food out, but well, I didn't even pick anything up. I meant to throw it out and pick up the blood, but that didn't happen. I'm not gonna lie, I am a fan of oysters. I like oysters. But what I'm not a fan of is raw oysters. But I'd never had them before, and I was like, well, I like prepared oysters. So surely, like, raw oysters can't be that much worse, right? I was not right. I was very wrong. They're very slimy, and they're very, like, sandy, because they're not cleaned. So, like, I just scooped the bad boy out and put it in my mouth, and then just got, like, a mouthful of, like, sand and slimy oyster. Not the best dining experience with oysters I've ever had, but hey-oh, here we are. Well, you know, the best part of the dinner, the most interesting part of the dinner, was the clams. So we got a bunch of steamed clams with some kind of, like, seasoning in them. Of some kind. I don't remember exactly what they put on them. They were really good, though. It was like... I don't remember... It's, like, bothering me now that I can't remember exactly what it was. It was some kind of, like, a heavier seasoning, right? It was, like... I think it was, like, cayenne pepper and, like, paprika and stuff like that. It was, like a spicier kind of thing. But it was very good. So we're eating those. We begrudgingly finished the oysters that were in front of us because like we paid for them, so we might as well, right? I'm not just gonna have them take back 6 oysters because they're gross. Like I would rather just eat something that's gross and then feel better about having spent money on it than having spent money on something that I'm literally just gonna be like, all right, go throw these away now. Okay. Goodbye. Goodbye. So, it's fine. Begrudgingly, we finished the oysters. And then we started on the clams. Like, we only got like 6 oysters. I don't even think it was 6. I think it was like, well, maybe it was 6. It was like 4 or 6 oysters. And then we get like 10 clams. And if you ever had clams, they're like a third of the size of oysters and a lot easier to eat in one sitting, in my opinion. So, we finish the oysters and then we move on to the clams. And it's like, 1 clam, 2 clam, munch, munch, munch. And so we got a shit ton of things. Blade Master seems huge, so I'm actually gonna lock that in when we get back. Go Tactician A, Well Tactician A. Those are both a little bit annoying, but we can live with those. Okay. We got a quest, apparently. That's weird. I don't even know where, but we got... Oh, that's gotta be it. Okay. Interesting. Well, yeah, we'll do that probably next episode. I'm gonna finish this story first, and then I'm gonna, turn this episode off, because it's been 42 minutes, so it's right around the normal time for an episode. So, yeah, we're eating the clams, and usually I say, when I eat a clam, I don't chew them up, right? Like, oysters and clams, I don't usually chew them. Just because I think it's, not improper to chew them, but it just doesn't feel right, It's like, it's easier to, finish them off if you just swallow them whole. So that's typically what I do, right? But for one single clam, I was like, you know what? I want to chew this clam. I don't even know why. I was just like, I'm going to chew this clam, and I'm going to see how it compares to just swallowing them. I put it into my mouth. I take a big bite into it. And I am immediately greeted with just a big solid thing in the middle of my mouth. And I'm like, what the what the hell? What is this? I was like, I had one of two things come into my mind. I was like, either the reason that you swallow clams whole is because they're hard in the middle, or there's a piece of shell that got stuck to it, or a piece of, debris or something that, didn't get taken out when they were cleaning them or whatever. So, I just I slowly reach over and pull the napkin out from in front of Carly and and then turn back and just spit it straight into the napkin. And she's like, what are you doing? She's like, if you don't like it, that's fine, but don't spit it onto the napkin. And I was like, no. You don't understand. There's something inside of it. So I spit it on the napkin, and then I just I use my fork and knife to do a dissection in the middle of this table. And so I just cut it open. And right smack in the middle of this clam is a pearl. 100% genuine, solid white pearl. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I pull it out, and I show it to her, and I'm like, is this a pearl? I was like, is this an actual pearl, or is this am I just imagining that it is, and it's actually just something else? And she's like, I'm pretty sure that's a pearl. Look it up, though. And I looked it up, and it was like, yep, sure enough. Clams can give... Oysters are typically the ones that give pearls, right? Clams have a chance to, but it's a lot smaller of a chance, and usually they're not as, not as refined, but, not as of high quality. Just because they don't process as much of the ingredients, I guess, to make pearls as oysters do. So, instead of compressing a lot more of it to make, a bigger, rounder, more effervescent pearl, they just do, smaller ones. It's, the size of, the... I don't know. Half of my finger, I guess? Not, half the pad of my finger. Not half, my entire finger. That'd be insane. Half the pad of my pointer finger, right? It's not, huge, but it's a pretty decent-sized thing. And so I was like, well, holy shit. I'm gonna have to get this thing appraised when I get back into town, right? So then I called the waitress over and I was like, have you ever had anybody find a pearl inside of their food while they were eating? And she was like, nope, I can't say that I have. I was like, well, guess what? You have now. Look at this bad boy. I held it up and like she took it from me and inspected it and was like, well, damn. Yeah, that sure is a pearl. She was like, I think that we found like one while we were prepping them one time. And she was like, but none of them have ever made it onto a customer's plate. And she was like, so congrats to being the first one. And then she was like, I hope you didn't hurt yourself, like, chewing on it or anything. Like, no, it's fine. So, yeah, yada, yada, yada. Get back to town, right? And I'm like, okay, I gotta get this thing appraised, because, I want to see, like, the value. Now, I'm not expecting anything like $500 or anything. I'm just like, I want to see, one, what the grade is. Like, if a jeweler were to grade it, what would they give it, right? And two, like, could this possibly be made into a piece of jewelry? So I go to well, I haven't gone to a jeweler yet. I'm planning to go to a jeweler. I go to a jeweler to set an appointment to get it inspected. Because, like, I couldn't, like, explain over the phone properly what I needed them to do. They were like, oh, you had a ring and a pearl came out. I was like, no. I found a pearl, and I want it in a ring. And the woman was like, you found a pearl ring and want the pearl taken out. I'm like, no. I found a single pearl inside of a clam, and I want this put into a ring or a necklace of some kind, please. And the woman's like, come into the store and tell me what is happening. I was like, oh my god. I go to the store and I'm like, look, this is it right here, you see? I found this inside of a living thing. At the time, a dead thing. But this came from a clam. I was like, tell me what it's worth, tell me how good of a quality it is, and give me options for putting it into a ring. She was like, oh. I was like, how could you not have understood that? I've said it, I don't know how many times I told you this over the phone, but I guess me being in person with it, like, just suddenly made it click for you. I have no idea, but that's set to happen sometime. I have to, like, get back to them and, like, schedule a date. But I have to, like, find a time that I'm not working, because I'll tell you what, I've come back from my trips and all I've done is work. I've been home for 3 days and all I've done is work. Every single one of those days. At least I'm off tomorrow, though. By tomorrow, I mean today, when you guys are watching this. I might do a stream, too. I might be, like, by the time this is up, I might be streaming on Twitch. Who knows? We'll have to see, I guess. I think that's it, though. I think, story-wise, I think that's it for the big ones. There's, like, a couple other small ones, but those are also, like, ones that I can just get to, like, in normal, everyday fashion, like I would typically do. But I think that's it. I think it's going to be this episode. So, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, leave a thumbs up. If you didn't, leave a thumbs down. If you'd like to see more, consider subscribing. I upload daily at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock. As always, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. I will see you all in the next episode. So long, everybody. I don't know why I did it different today, but I was kind of feeling it. So yeah, so long, so long, everybody.